Hello, it is Sunday the 8th of October, and in this video I'm going to look at the latest Lotto result and try and figure out why these particular numbers came out, and then when we've figured out what the reasons were, or possible reasons, then we'll use that little bit of insight to predict what's going to come out next. So the machine that was used was Lancelot, and the set of balls was number 8. The current trend is sets of balls 5 to 8 and machines Guinevere and Lancelot. So if we narrow the statistics down to just those 4 sets of balls and 2 machines, and we produce a chart counting how often each number has been drawn and what draws they've occurred in, where those 2 machines and 4 sets of balls have been used. It looks like this. Now if we eliminate the most recent result and look at where the numbers were on this chart, you can see the most overdue number, 15, is one that came out, and the rest of the numbers are right down there at the more recent end of the chart. So that could be a possible explanation for why 15 came out. If we look at the chart for just Lancelot, you can see 15 with those 4 sets of balls was one of the most overdue numbers. It was set of balls number 8. So if we just look at set of balls number 8, there's 15 again. First time since draw 2066, when the number of main numbers went up to 59. First time number 15 has ever been drawn with set of balls number 8 and machine Lancelot. So that means that finally number 15 has come out. Now if we look at the chart for numbers paired with 15, it's very small because there's not much information. However, we can expand to look at all machines and all sets of balls and see where the numbers are on that chart. That's it, where they are paired with 15. Again, one of the most overdue numbers, number 20, paired with 15. That one came out. If we look where number 51 is on this chart, you can see it's closest to the top right corner, which means out of all the numbers it's the most overdue for its frequency to occur with number 15. And so we've got reasons now why 15 came out, a reason why 51 came out with 15, possible reason why number 20 came out. I actually picked number 47 on one of my Lotto lines. I can't remember why, but if I hadn't picked that, I wouldn't have won a lucky dip, which is all I got. So I can't remember why I picked 47. But anyway, looking at the chart for all machines and all sets of balls in the run up to the last draw, that's what the chart looks like, and this is where those numbers were on that chart. It looks like 37 was the most frequent of these 6 numbers, but there are other numbers that are more overdue and more frequent. My personal choice was 23, because it's closest to top right, and there's a reason why we're going to pick 23, and that's by looking at the entire draw history. So if we narrow it down to just those two machines and look at all sets of balls, that's where the numbers were on that chart. And if we narrow it down to just those 4 sets of balls and all machines, that's where they were on that chart. That's what the whole chart looks like. And again, that's where they were. So what we can learn from this is, seems to be the most overdue numbers, most overdue for the frequency, and that's when we're looking only at the more recent history since numbers 50 to 59 were added. If we look even further back, right to the very beginning, you can see the numbers that were added more recently are right here at the low frequency end. The rest of the numbers are off the chart. So if we turn it round this way, so that the high frequency end is now on the left, the low frequency end is on the right, you can see the most frequent number is 23, which is the one I picked. So if we look at the chart as it is now, 23, one of the most overdue numbers, it's also the most frequent. So looking at the entire draw history, it's the most overdue for its frequency. Now if we narrow it down to just the 2 machines that are currently being used at the moment, that's what the chart looks like. And on this chart, it looks like number 23 is by far the most frequent, and it's still very much overdue for its frequency with these 2 machines. So that's why I picked 23. So I've been telling people to pick 23. Pick 23 for this reason. This is why. So let's look at just the 4 sets of balls that are currently being used at the moment. And now we have a slightly different picture. Of course, now 23 is not by far the most frequent, and it's not all that overdue for its frequency. 28 is the most overdue, and number 44, most frequent, is probably closest to that top left, which means it's the most overdue for its frequency. And there's the other numbers. Number 58, most frequent out of those. So if we look at just the more recent history, since those 10 numbers were added, 28 is the most frequent, 58 is the most frequent, and 28 is the most overdue. So where's 44 on this? There it is. Remember when we looked at the entire draw history, 44 most frequent. Now it looks like 23's more frequent than 44. Recently, anyway, recently it is. So maybe my choice of picking number 23 wasn't such a good choice. Maybe instead I should pick 28 or 44. So I wonder what 44, the chart for 44 looks like if we look at the entire draw history. You can see number 7 most frequent with 44 in these two machines with 4 sets of balls. So it also looks quite overdue compared to the rest of the numbers. So maybe 44 and 7 would be a better choice than 23 and the other numbers that I picked with it in my last video. So that's looking at the entire draw history. If we look at more recent history, and let's see where number 7 is. It's just there, sort of in the middle. So maybe for the next draw I will change my numbers again. I'll pick 28 and I think I'll go for 44 and 7. Maybe I'll have those two as a 2-number up pick. But for my Lotto line I'm going to have 44, 7 and 28. So I'm also going to have a quick look at individual machines. See, on the chart for Lancelot, 6 and 48 not been drawn recently. So maybe those two numbers are good numbers to pick. 19 closest to top right, 16 most frequent. If we look at the chart for Guinevere on its own, got 23 most frequent, number 8 most overdue for its frequency. So now if we look at Guinevere and Lancelot, an individual set of balls, number 5, that's what that chart looks like. Can't really see much because the numbers are still quite bunched up close together. Set of balls number 6, similar situation again. Set of balls number 7, and set of balls number 8. So you can see what they all look like. 58 definitely most frequent with set of balls number 8. So maybe I'll change my numbers again. Or maybe not. Anyway, that's what the chart looks like, and that concludes this video. So I hope it helps you to pick winning numbers for the next draw. So good luck with that, and subscribe for my next video that I will upload after the next draw. And goodbye for now.